Well, when she doesn't know from the back, like she was wearing Seamus tag. Oh my god.
Two. Hey, check. 1, 2. Peter, Piper, picked and pecked. Picked peppers. How many?
Hi, I'm Beth Koenig. I work for Iron Chef Jose Garces. Currently, we're in the Olde Bar, one of his newest restaurants and venues. I'm Beth Koenig. I work for Iron Chef Jose Garces as one of his catering sales managers. Currently, we're in the Olde Bar, one of his newest restaurants and event venues. I've been a member of ISIS for about the past 4 years, and the benefits have been really awesome. Creating the relationships to help succeed in pulling off the perfect event. Without the people as part of ISIS, it's really crucial to have that relationship and the trust in the vendors that we work with. Okay, today we are doing a lunch with a theme of dinner on Blanc, which Garces Events has been part of for the past 3 years. The speakers have created this event and brought it to Philadelphia in 2012. Thank you all for coming, and have a
So, what does everybody think of this great space that we're sitting in? Think you can bring some clients here to sell this room? And that's what we're all here for, right? I do have to agree with Veronica, and being a member of ISIS has really brought some good relationships, partnerships, and that really helps us in the events that we plan, knowing that we can trust the vendors and partnerships in this room. A little bit about me, in case you don't already know. I've been a member of ISIS since 2012, a little on and off throughout my years. I know everybody thinks I look so young, and I just started catering, but I'm older. Anyway, I started the catering with Adam Delasso for Iron Chef Jose Garces. And, everybody thinks of Jose Garces as a restaurant group. Well, we are much more than that. As you can see, the growth that we have brought to the city of Philadelphia, being the exclusive caterer at the Kimmel Center, the Academy.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, we just want to say thank you so much to ISIS for inviting us to speak today. Thank you to Carly and all the board members that we have met during lunch, and also a special thank you to Beth and Eric for including us in this presentation. Beth has been a great partner, and we love this beautiful space. Thank you for setting it up all in white. I never imagined we'd see so many people in white after Labor Day, but you all look beautiful. So right now I want to introduce Natanya, and we'll get started with our presentation.
So the question we get so often is, how did we get involved with this and how did we start it? So we thought we would just kind of frame this presentation around how we did the first year, and then I'm sure you'll have questions, so we'll try and talk for about 20 minutes and then open it up to questions. So I always say that I first heard about dinner on Blanc from my aunt in Montreal. She happened to say that it was the winter, there was tons of snow, we didn't get out at all the whole trip. She said in the summer they do this white picnic here. Everyone wears white and everyone brings their own food. And so when I was leaving, I said, I'm going to have to come back this summer and we're going to have to go to that picnic. And she said, oh, we can't go to that. It's very exclusive. You have to know someone. So that night I drove and found myself in Vermont, snowbound, and nothing to do but Google this white picnic in Montreal. I didn't even have a name of it. And during that search, this picture came up. This absolutely beautiful, beautiful picnic in front of Notre Dame. I spent all evening researching what this was all about, found out that it had started in Paris, that it had gone to Montreal when the son of the founder brought it there, and that it had occurred in New York just that past summer. So there was this great article, and that kind of launched everything in the United States. It occurred in the New York Times in July. Oops. Is that? Wait, back up. A New York event in August. That, of course, is the Louvre. It's been occurring there in Paris since 1988. So I believe that was probably the year before. But this same article is what drew Kaylee to the event.
Yes, so I just happened to be reading New York Times, and you see this headline, How 10,000 People Kept a Secret. So of course my interest was piqued. I looked at it, learned that they were bringing this event to New York City, and so right away I signed up for the waiting list. I tell all my friends in New York, we really need to go to this. And on that side I was thinking, well, why don't they have this in Philadelphia? Philadelphia has all these beautiful spaces, and so I started Googling, Dinner Blanc, Philadelphia, while I was waiting to go to the New York event. And I found this Facebook page, and as Natanya mentioned, is during her Googling, then she also found it too, so somehow both of us ended up on this Facebook page that had been started by this unknown entity. And we were just like, hey, how can we get involved? This sounds like a great event. I would love to volunteer to help you plan it. Little did we know.
Right, so in December I made my first post, and then a month later I posted again. And so that was 2011. We weren't contacted until March of 2012. I, of course, thought a location had been picked and a date was set, and then I would just be lending a helping hand. But no, they had no leadership in place. So mid-March, Kaylee and I were on a call and told that we would be given this great project of bringing this event to Philadelphia. Because of all of the recognition that the New York event had got, a lot of cities that year applied to be part of International, Dinner Blanc International. And International chooses a city based on how it can grow, how much public space there is, how much demand there will be, and we basically signed up for a 3-year stint to plan this event.
So basically when people ask us, how did you get involved? How did you bring this to Philadelphia? Well, it was just an interest in the event and asking if we could volunteer for it. And next thing we know, we're being told, hey, you two get to be the people in charge. So now you can just look and figure out, how to set up a public event in Philadelphia, figure out the BYO, figure out the insurance, figure out the permitting process. And we didn't really realize that it hadn't already been all structured for Philadelphia. What they do is similar to a franchise. They do offer us a structure of, this is how much square footage you might need. Here's some ways to kind of plan the event in terms of logistics. And each host in that local city, they take that information and you kind of customize it according to what you know about the city, what you know about your audience.
So 3 years ago, there wasn't nearly as much information about this event as there is now. So we really had to sell everyone involved on this concept. These are the founders the founders of the one in Paris and their son who brought it to Montreal. What we were able to gather are the values of Dinner Blanc. So that everyone involved is preparing. There's a secret location. The event's about friendship, elegance, equality. There's no VIP sections. There's no special seating. It's not commercial. It's all about sharing, and it's about respect for the public space. We organized our group. We said that our mission statement was that it was not a commercial event, nor is it an expensive fundraiser. It is an elegant yet affordable community event strictly designed to promote friendship and connections, cultural appreciation, and a respect and enjoyment of our public spaces.
So we approached this event in such a way that it was more to highlight the city. And so that's kind of what our goals were the first year, is we wanted to pick a location that would let people know, this is Philadelphia. No matter what photo you took, you could see some sort of part of Philadelphia in the background. And then we also wanted to make sure that it showed the connection between Philadelphia and Paris, since the event has its roots in Paris. And so that's kind of what led us on our search. But as Natanya mentioned, our main goal was to highlight the city. We weren't thinking, oh, this is an event that will make a ton of money. No, we were thinking, what can we do to showcase how beautiful Philadelphia is and bring this fun concept to the people here?
So the steps to achieving the goals that we had obviously were a great site, strong volunteer recruitment, and then building our brand, which first and foremost meant reaching out to the city of Philadelphia, then outreaching to the community and arts organizations, having promotions and events. So basically, the first thing, site location. We looked at 6 different locations, did a pro and con list for all of them, and the location we picked was Logan Circle. We picked it because it was in the middle of everything. It was 360-degree view of iconic and historic landmarks, City Hall, Franklin Institute, the Art Museum, the Public Library, the Barnes Foundation. And also, the Parkway is modeled on the Champs-Élysées, and Logan Circle is modeled on Place de la Concorde, which right there is where a dinner en blanc had been held in 2009. So for us, it was kind of a no-brainer. It was the ultimate spot. We also had 1,000 to 1,300 people on our radar for a first location, and it fit perfectly. So it really
you
was.
might see every day, but you don't really realize how beautiful it is until you create this romantic setting, until you put 1,300 people all dressed in white. So everyone drives by the Parkway like almost every day, or you run by it. And one of our favorite things was after the event, we'd have people come to us and they're like, oh, my heart smiles when I see it. And so that's one of those things when we're looking at those locations is we have all these spaces in Philadelphia, but how many times do you actually just stop and sit back and realize how wonderful they are?
We also felt that Logan Circle was kind of underappreciated. It's in a spot that most people can't even tell you exactly what cross street it's at. So we felt that it was a great opportunity to highlight this very beautiful space. And of course, the connection to Paris was a no-brainer. Volunteers. Very early on, there was an article that appeared in Mainline Dish and Eater about the event coming to Philadelphia. We did not solicit this. It just happened. And we're very thankful that it did, because we got contacted by some of the most dynamic people in this city who were involved in so many different organizations. And that really, really helped us leverage the groups and their connections. The first year for any dinner en blanc is the most important in the sense that you can reach the most people. For us, it was 1,300 people who had never gone before. So when the second year, all those people can come back. But the first year, it's new to everyone. So we really wanted to be as diverse as we could in our reach. And this dynamic group of volunteers really helped us do that. So organized in organizations as varied as the ballet, to the Orpheus Club, the Union League, Les Dames d'Escoffier, PAFA, really great group of people. We also developed a list of talking points when we went to these different organizations, and certainly when we went to the city, of the different ways this event was going to support the work that they were doing, initiatives, whether it was the mayor's Green Parks Initiative, or just any of the Kimmel Center, what they were doing with PIFA, just any connection that we could make for how this event supported what these other groups was doing, we thought would really help our work.
And we're very aware of the fact that the event, it spreads through word of mouth. So it's friends of friends, and so we know that the people you have during your first year, they're going to reach out to their friends the second year. So if you kind of limit yourself to one group the first year, then the following years you kind of feel like you're in one specific area. So that's why we are very particular and very strategic about trying to find different groups of people in the city, so that way as we grew, it would actually touch base with all the different demographics, different interests, different organizations within the city.
The most important thing to a food event is providing a caterer. In our event, most people do bring their own food, but about 30% do not. We do it on a Thursday night, so people are coming from work. So we needed to partner with a great caterer. And for us, it was a no-brainer to pick Garces. I had worked with Beth, and I also liked the fact that Jose was a chef that we could kind of identify this event with. It's very foodie driven, and he certainly had a great reputation, has a great reputation. So it was kind of a really obvious choice for us, and they were a wonderful partner with us. We also looked at the other connections we had. We looked at, I work for Williams-Sonoma, so Williams-Sonoma became a partner. We did a preview party at their location. Then we looked at the Sofitel, just different businesses and organizations that shared a connection to our event. We also did events and reaching out. This is the first night market that we went to. We had pop-up shops, we had preview parties. We really, anywhere where there was going to be a group of people that we could introduce this concept to, we did. This is just some feedback that we got just right away on our Facebook page. It's also funny to see 1,900 likes because now we're close to 10,000. So it shows you the growth in just 3 years. But people just speaking so lovingly about not only this event, but how it made them feel about being in Philadelphia and the connection to their community. And that's really what we were hoping the message would come through.
And these are just a little bit of slides of kind of blogs that were listed afterwards, people describing their own personal experience. One of the things that we always find to be really important is listening to people and listening to what their experiences are like. So what did they enjoy about the event? What was that one thing that they want to keep for that event to all future events? Or what's one thing that they could give up? So we always love reading the blogs, and then every year the same people come, and so we like to read about their different experiences, how the first year differed from the next year. But some of the quotes are things that, you know, as event planners, you just kind of keep close to heart because it inspires you to keep moving forward. So things like, it was spectacular, and it was one of those moments you tell people, I was there that night. And that was our intention. We wanted to create a very memorable experience for our guests.
The one quote that I like that Kiwi had there was, I think we have a new event space that is at the center of everything, which of course this has been there 100 years as Logan Circle. So to see it being appreciated and rediscovered was one of our goals. Here's one of the many bloggers that we did, that we got to know, Hidden Cupcakes. We follow these people religiously. We follow them to see that they come back the next year, that she had a baby the next year. Like, you really become tied to these people who come to your event and give feedback. And so in subsequent years, we've definitely followed along with all of our bloggers. Another thing, like Kelly mentioned, in the very beginning, it was really hard to get buy-in from the PR world. So we started meeting with our volunteers like in April, and we still couldn't find a PR person by the end of June. So we really got resourceful and reached out to all of our different connections. So we got FYI Philly through one of our volunteers through a friendship he had. And this was another one, Art of Food. I love the show on WHYY I'm sorry, it's on Friday Arts. And it's the Art of Food segment. So I just reached out to her, and she covered this event, and it was an absolutely beautiful 10-minute piece that didn't air until December of 2012. And if you know Friday Arts and WHYY, it re-aired lots of times in the months after that. So this gave us tremendous visibility in the months after our event. It was just a great, great piece. So we wound up getting more volunteers as a result of that, and more visibility.
It was a good example of just being very strategic and trying to find individuals or groups that you think will have a like or similar interest with the brand or the concept of the event. So that was something that Tanya did. She reached out to them well beforehand. She pitched them. She sold them on the idea, even though they hadn't heard about it. And from there, this beautiful video was created. So, as we kind of begin to wrap up, we just want to leave some photos of the past few events. So in 2013, we were on the JFK Bridge in front of 30th Street Station. So once again, a space that everyone is familiar with, but you don't really realize how beautiful the water is at night. Being on the bridge is very reminiscent of Europe. And one of my favorite things is somebody told me, he's like, next time I get stuck at the stoplight, right here on this light, instead of getting angry that I'm going to be late for work, I'm going to stop and think about how I had the best night of my life here. And I love that. I love that people really think about the space in that way and the event.
Another great story that I love from this is we ran a contest with Michael Klein, and it was the week before the event, and this couple won. And they loved it so much that she wanted to go to Paris. So over their New Year's, they went to Paris, and he proposed on a bridge in Paris. And I just feel like to make that connection, for them to see the beauty of what this bridge is and the connection to Paris, and just to inspire them to do that is really what our event's about. We had the event on the Avenue of the Arts. It was the 50th anniversary of the ballet, the 40th anniversary of the opera company, and the 20th anniversary of the Avenue of the Arts. So we felt it was a perfect location to kind of highlight all of that. Kaylee and I had gone to the 20th anniversary party for Avenue of the Arts and heard these stories about how drastically changed this space is. And we really just wanted to celebrate this and celebrate the business that is there as well as the arts.
And one of the things moving forward as we look to, secure spots for the future, what we want to do is we really are focusing on creating that memorable event, something that's unique and different. After the first year, everyone told us, you can't do it better. You can't exceed any more expectations. And so we said, we don't necessarily want to, beat what we did this past year, but we want to do something different. And so the second year we did more of an urban location. And so that made it unique and memorable for people.
We listened to all of the feedback that we're given. We do surveys for all of the participants. I'm happy to report that we have the highest retention from year to year of all locations in the United States, which is really important to us. Through these surveys, we gain a lot of insight into what people are thinking, also the partners. We work with the Bruno Brothers as well as Garces now, and it's collaborative, so we really listen to the feedback. We try and ignore some outside detractors, as I'm sure you know of a few, and we just try to keep motivated and moving forward to really continue to highlight the city in the way that we want to. We have also created opportunities to reach new audiences as well as nurture the community that we have. We'll do Bastille Day events. We've partnered with Lord & Taylor, with Liberty Place. We had Don Streeter design our dresses this year. Then we also did a New Year's Eve party with Chess Cafe at the Downtown Club. So different ways to build on the brand and expand that community and the friendships that are developed from this event.